before, when we make use of vacuum tube or transistor, vacuum tube is not portable, it's very big. That's why first generation computers are always big. Do you understand? But the modern computer that we have now, they are very portable. Your laptop is portable. All right, we have different modes of laptop, we have different types of laptop. Do you understand? These systems are portable. Your personal computer are portable. They are handy, they are small for you to hold. So your microprocessor is portable. Another advantage is that it is very reliable. You can rely on it, because once anything you give to it is what the computer will give to you. So it is reliable. All right, then another one is that it produces less heat. That's number 3. Your microprocessor produces less heat. It is not like first generation computer, nor second generation computer, nor even third generation. Do you understand? So your microprocessor produces less heat. Now, once the microprocessor is working consistently or constantly, you are using it to process. Well, it's just like your brain. If you overuse your brain, what happens? It will be heated. That's when you will be saying, I'm having migraine, I'm having headache, what will I use? Right? The brain, that's the brain of the computer. If you are experiencing migraine on your brain, you are experiencing overheat on your brain, what about computer? It is a machine. All right, and everything that is in the computer is a replica of a human. Do you understand? So once you overuse the computer, it will definitely generate heat. It will definitely generate heat. That is why on the computer we have fan. All right, we have heat sink. But note that your processor, the modern processor, doesn't produce much heat like the first generation computer. It has a very high speed. Right, your microprocessor is measured in hertz, either in kilohertz, either in megahertz, either in gigahertz. Hertz is spelled Hertz. Hertz. That is the speed of measuring a computer microprocessor. Every part of the computer is measured. Your memory is measured, but human memory is not measured. Our memory as a human being is unlimited. That is why even if you are 100 years old, what happened to you when you are 10, you can still remember. What happened to you when you were 15 or 20, when you were still in school, you can remember. But in terms of computer, the computer also have backup that can remember information that has been saved on it. The uniqueness of human is that your brain does not damage, except if you do something bad with it. But that of a computer anything can happen to that of a computer. That is why nowadays we now have cloud computing, where information can be saved on the cloud. But where I'm going is this: it has a very high speed. Right, the brain of the computer, it has a very high speed. It can convert data within the twinkle of an eye. 2 times 2, it will give you your answer. 3 times 3, it will give you your answer. 4 times 4. If I should ask you 22 times 44 now, you will be processing your brain. But if you should press it on the computer, 22 times 44, immediately it will give you an output. That is what we are talking about. It has a very high speed. Then number 5, it has a low power consumption. It has a low power consumption. Now the processor doesn't consume much power, not like first generation computer. All right, now if your computer is being charged, all right, now how do you measure power usage? Power usage is being measured based on usability, the way you use your computer. For example, if your computer is charged and is 100% charged, all right, the measurement of that charging is based on its usability. Once your computer is being charged and you are working on it, everything you are doing on the computer is being processed. Is a machine. All right, so it's consuming the power, it's consuming the current inside the computer. But once you overload or once you overuse the system, all right, since it is processing, since it is undergoing processing, since it is rolling, it will be taking away little power. But the beauty of your modern microprocessor is that the way it consumes your power is different to the way your vacuum tube will consume power, because your vacuum tube contains a lot of transistors, a lot of things that is so big that makes it to look larger than the current modern system that we have. So your microprocessor consumes less power. Okay, and we now have different types of systems. So we have some systems that once you run them like this, within some seconds, the whole of your battery is already down. Okay, once you on some system, the whole of your battery is gone. But there are still some systems that even if you use them for 4 hours, the battery is still going. You use them for 6 hours, the battery is still going. That's why we have different types of system. We have some system that doesn't have fan. Yes, we have some system that are fanless, a fanless system, and they are working very fine. Now look at your phone. Your phone does not have fan. Now every system created or built or made is made on a particular chip. Now each of these chip has a measurement. That is why when you want to buy a system, they will tell you what specification. Every system have its own specification. The specification will tell you, or it will give you an outline about the system, how long you can use this one, how far you can use this one, the durability of the system. So those are the things you must put in place when going for a computer system. Then lastly, the microprocessor is very versatile. Is very versatile. The versatility of the computer cannot be measured. Versatile in such a way that you can use it for this, you can use it for that, you can use it for this, you can use it for this, you can use it for this. It's used in this, it's used in this. It is very, very versatile. Let's look at the disadvantage of a microprocessor. We've talked about the advantages. It is portable, it is very reliable, it produces less heat, it has a very high speed, it has a low power consumption. The microprocessor is very versatile. So let's move to the disadvantage. One of the disadvantages of the microprocessor is that it is only based on machine language. Yes, the microprocessor is based on machine language. Every system built is based on a machine language. All right, and the language, the machine, a machine language is what is zeros and one. Do you understand? So the microprocessor is based on a machine language. The microprocessor does not understand what the English I'm speaking now. It does not understand. So what the computer needs, or what the microprocessor needs, is a what? Is an interpreter, a compiler. Okay, it needs a compiler, it needs an interpreter, and it needs an assembler. Do you understand? So all these things are embedded or are encoded or are inserted under a microprocessor. That is why the language of a computer is what? Machine language. And the machine languages are what? Is zeros and one. That's binary. So it depends. That's a disadvantage of your microprocessor. The overall cost is high. Yes, the cost of purchasing a system is high, and the purchasing of a system is based on the specification. You can't compare a dual core to, now look at it. You can't compare a dual core processor to a Core i series system. It's not possible. It's just like saying you want to buy a Core i3 and a Core i7. It's not this. It's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. So that specification is high. It's just like someone who had acquired his doctorate, and someone who is just don't let me use the word just. Okay, don't let me use the word just. It's just like someone who have an ND and someone who has acquired his PhD. Are they the same thing? So that brain is different. What is inside each of those brains are different. So the same vein is applicable to your microprocessor. So the overall cost is high. Another one is that the large size of your PCB is required for assembling all components, all componential parts of a computer. What is PCB? PCB stands for printable circuit board. That's the meaning of PCB. Now when you look at the board, the motherboard of a computer, the motherboard of a computer is an architectural framework, right, that controls every other aspect of the computer. Now on this motherboard we have lines. Those lines are called PCB. They are PCBs, all right, because they have on that board we have printable circuits on that board. Now all those lines are buses. Those lines are called buses, and they are transmitting information to every other sectional part of the computer. So the computer is limited to that. The computer doesn't have any other means through which it can transmit data, through which it can transmit information. That is what that number 3 is trying to tell you. All right. The large size of PCB is required for assembling all components. So then another disadvantage of the microprocessor is that the overall product design requires more time. Now to design a microprocessor, it requires numbers of time. It requires enough time. It requires timing. So you can't just sit down and say you want to design a microprocessor. No. It is not like when you sit to, even to sit to draw takes time. Not to talk of designing a microprocessor, it takes time. Now, the microprocessor does not have any other internal peripheral like ROM, RAM, and other input-output devices. It is just a single. That is why it is called a single chip. All right. It does not have any other sectional parts. I hope you understand the disadvantages. So these are the disadvantages of the microprocessor. I said number one, it is only based on machine language. Number two, the overall cost is high. Number three, the large size of PCB is required for assembling all components. Number four, overall product design requires more time. Then number last, it does not have any other peripherals. It does not have anything that is attached to it. All right, it doesn't have any internal peripherals that is attached to it, like your monitor, like RAM. It does not have anything like that. Nothing is attached to it. That is why it is referred to as a single microchip. Then let's move to the application of microprocessor. Where is microprocessor applicable? Where do we apply it? There are so many important applications of microprocessor, some of which are number one, the microprocessor is used in personal computer. Yes, it is applicable in personal computer. That's why in every system or in every PC, you always see microprocessor. So it is applicable, it is seen, it is found on a personal computer. Number two, application of microprocessor. That's the usage of microprocessor. The microprocessor is used on personal computer. The microprocessor is used on personal computer. The microprocessor is used on personal computer. Number two, the microprocessor is used on printers. You will definitely see processors on printer. That's why they can do the work of garbage in and garbage out. All right, that's the function of a microprocessor. The microprocessor is found on a printer. The microprocessor is used in modems like telephone and some modern televisions. Do you understand? So your microprocessor is found on your telephones. It's found on what's it called? It's found on mobile phones. Do you understand? Landline, handsets, and all of that. So the microprocessor is used in medical instruments to measure temperature. It is used in medical instruments to measure temperature. What are the medical instruments we use in measuring temperature? Your thermometer. Okay, your microprocessor is found. We have different types of thermometer. Not all those manual ones. When you go to the hospitals, you will see heavy machines. Those machines are being functioned out through the work of a microprocessor, because you must press something to give you a result. So anything that you are inputting to give a result must definitely have a microprocessor. You as a human being, you have a microprocessor. Your microprocessor is your brain. So every electronic device is, just note that every electronic device is built that gives out result have what we call a microprocessor. It is used in mobile phones and television. It is used in calculators. It is used in accounting system. All right. It is used in military application. It is used in traffic lights. All right. It is also used in home appliances. So we have diverse usage of the microprocessor. Number one, define RAM. ROM, define it. Number two, define RAM. What is RAM? What is ROM? All right, that's number one and two. Then number three, what is control bus? What is control bus? Number four, what is address bus? Number five, what is data bus? I said number one, define your ROM. ROM. Number two, define RAM. RAM. Number three, what is control bus? In the course of lecturing, I made mention of control, and I made mention of address, and I made mention of data. What is control bus? Number next, what is address bus? Then number last, what is a data bus? Thank you.